Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Start off the cat's paw.
Touchdown, Tommy Milano is electrifying.
Welcome to the Pawd. What's up, Podcats? Back at it again. Week 11, Pick'em Pod. Eric, I'm guaranteeing that the man cave is not very warm. Is the man cave very warm?
No. It's a little chilly up north here, but we're still here. We're still here.
Yeah.
We're still warm from that good Bobcat win on Saturday.
Yeah,
it was my favorite kind.
Yeah.
Favorite kind of win.
Fully stress-free.
Talk about stress-free, though. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah.
A team that has played everyone pretty darn strong, had some really quality wins, beat Sac State a couple weeks prior.
Yep.
And the Bobcats made them look like a bit of a JV team, to be totally honest.
They looked like the Northern Colorado of old. If there was one man that could find stress in this game, though, I don't know if you noticed this watching it, Gregorak is just, it feels like he's being super negative all the time, and it's like they're only up by like 50 points right now. I'm like, what else can they do?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pick them apart too much, but I was just like, they're dominating right now, and it's like, okay, we got to find some negatives here.
I mean, you say it when we record too. You got to find something to talk about, right?
Yeah, I guess
because you can only preach about the good things so much. I mean, this game we saw multiple gash plays, which we're not necessarily accustomed to. I mean, Taco had two huge ones. Ryan King had two huge ones. I mean, for crying out loud, Dane Steele was throwing balls to our quarterback.
Yeah.
So, it got
fun for sure.
Yeah. It was a really, really fun game to watch. I feel like the offense is still, I mean, they're still gelling, and you can see it happen. You can see the changes every week. You can tell that they're working on things in practice really hard.
Mm-hmm.
They are a well-oiled machine right now, and I still don't think they've even hit their potential.
Oh no, they definitely have not hit the max. As we were saying, you could find negatives in this game if you really want to. You can find things to work on, but ultimately, things are looking real good. But you are right; there are always things that they can improve upon. But Lamson, hell of a day, near perfect day.
Yeah.
Taco beating Taco. It just like you said, it seemed like they were all just having fun out there. They're messing around.
Yeah, well, I mean,
plays are working. They're just having fun.
Yeah, that little touchdown run back by Talon Marsh was, I think, how can you not have fun when the big guy gets an 80-yard touchdown?
Yeah, that is not something you see every single day. Everybody loves a big man touchdown. It is. Yeah. It'll light up anybody's face.
Yeah. All I know is that our backups were scoring on Northern Colorado, and that is not an easy thing to do. We've seen, fairly talented teams struggle with Northern Colorado to the point where we were actually questioning if Northern Colorado was turning a corner.
Yeah.
It turns out they're not in the same stratosphere as the Bobcats. Not even close. They may be with the rest of the Big Sky Conference, but definitely not the Bobcats.
Yeah. Speaking of the rest of the Big Sky Conference, they're not looking so good.
It's so weird, man.
Are they just beating each other up, or what is it? What is it?
I mean, I think the thing at this point that you really need to ask yourself is, you take out the Montana schools, and even more questions will get answered during Cat Grizz. We'll see what the truth really is, but you see the rest of these teams and the turmoil amongst themselves, and teams that we think are okay and teams that we think are terrible.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to pan out every week because the terrible teams are beating the okay teams, and the teams that we're shellacking by 40 points are beating the UC Davises of the world. So you really got to kind of sit back and wonder, are we even in the same conversation right now? Yeah. We got to play all these games against them, but for 2 years in a row, outside of Cat Grizz, really, or the Grizzlies and UC Davis to a certain extent, it has just been such a beatdown in every game. They're not close.
Yeah.
It's just we're just. I'm still trying to enjoy not having a regressionary period post Tommy Malott.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm still trying to get used to this idea that we get to go from Tommy Malott right back into another really, really good team that's even younger.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. And it's just taken the wind out of my sails once again. I just kept telling myself there's just a few weeks and then we play against UC Davis, and that's going to be a hell of a game. And then UC Davis goes out there and they lose to the Bungles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now we're just going to steamroll another team before the only exciting game of the season.
I really think like that game, that one was a puzzler because what we did to Idaho State was borderline criminal. We absolutely took them behind the woodshed. There is no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. But then you think back and it's like, oh yeah, this is the same Idaho State team that darn near took down UNLV and gave New Mexico a scare. They were within the 20-yard, they were in the red zone with the 20 seconds left against the Grizzlies, took a red zone stop for the Grizzlies to even pull that game out. Mm-hmm. Then we absolutely demoralize them. And then they go in and they beat the number 6 team in the country. And it's like, what does that actually tell you? Because I don't know. Yeah. Is the Montana State closer to FBS, like those lower-ish levels FBS teams than they are the Big Sky Conference teams?
Last year we saw it against New Mexico, and we went into that New Mexico game as a 10-point favorite and then had to come from behind to win it. So, and not to be expected, but this team is looking like they are on par. They are putting up scores that are exactly on par with that team last year. Not trying to make any comparisons there, because I feel like that's just a dangerous game to start playing. But this team, like you said, did not really take a step back. And I got to think that the real question is just, are the Cats that much better than the rest of the conference? Because it's a different game when they're playing against these teams.
It really is. It's complete. I don't know, man. It just, when you look at the scores from last week, you have, Idaho State beating UC Davis is absolutely nuts. But then you also have Portland State beat Cal Poly, and Portland State is awful at football. They are very, very bad. And Cal Poly was the team that took the Grizzlies down to the very, very wire. They were beating the Grizzlies for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah. Took them to the fourth quarter.
So it was just, it's like, it's hard to read what, the Big Sky Conference truly is, because it seems like outside of the Montana schools, it's a bunch of middling teams that just beat each other up. Yeah. And there's no real structure to it at all.
And it feels like they're just beating themselves, which I don't know. I guess we got a luxury because we haven't really seen this team take a step backwards, I'm going to say, all year. Because you look at the Oregon game sucks, but it is what it is. You go to double overtime with South Dakota State, who at the time was completely healthy and looking much different than the South Dakota State team right now. Yeah. And you go to double overtime, and you still got to consider that a step forward from Oregon. And then every single week since then, this team has just gotten better and better and better. To where it's like, we're looking at a team right now against Northern Colorado that is, it almost feels like a completely different team than we saw at the beginning of the season.
It really does. And, I feel like that's a good way to, kind of break into the rest of the turmoil in the, basically the top 10 of the polls. South Dakota State, when we played them, they had everybody, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Mason is a big deal, and people can say whatever they want about him being there or not. I guarantee you, whoever starts at quarterback for South Dakota State, if they don't play to a quarter of what Chase Mason is, they're going to lose again.
Yeah.
And on top of it, they're down. They're down their number one wide receiver, who's the only reason they even beat us, that Lofton Ogroski.
He did have a great game.
They're down their starting running back, their starting quarterback, and their best defensive player is hurt.
Yeah.
They are just – it'd be the same thing as if we didn't have Justin Lamson, Taco Dowler, Adam Jones, and Paul Brott.
Yeah.
Just without those four guys, it doesn't matter what team you are. It's impossible. So, but that being said, losing to Indiana State is
tough.
That's bad.
That's a tough look. And
you don't lose to a team with the logo of a tree.
No, you don't lose to any team named after a tree. That is for sure. It is never a good look when the sycamores, a nice shady spot is what's beating you.
And they did it to him at home. Yeah, that's the other part.
That also hurts. But I got to chalk it up more to injuries than anything else. Like when you lose that many impact players and you already had a team that was, it feels like they were kind of slapped together quickly because they had to fill a lot of spots and they'd lost a lot of people to the transfer portal. So they had to find people wherever they could and they had to fill a roster. And the job that their recruiting staff did to put together the team that we saw at the beginning of the season, pretty impressive. But when you start losing major pieces, they don't have like those guys that have been building up in the program like the Cats do. Because we've got guys that have been with the program for 2-3 years now, and they have been fighting for a spot on the field. And then we have an injury, like Neil Daly goes down, and we got Cole Taylor that comes in and just blows everybody away. Like South Dakota State doesn't have those guys on the roster right now, and it's not really fully their fault.
Yeah, no, I do. I think you're exactly right. I think South Dakota State's whole deal is a depth issue. They just don't have depth. But once again, you cannot lose to Indiana State. That'd be like Portland State coming into your house and beating you. Those kind of things are just unacceptable.
Yeah.
So I totally get, the drop that they took in the rankings. UC Davis, same way. I mean, you can't lose to the Idaho States of the world. If you're in the top 6 nationally, you just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't even let that be a close game.
No. Especially if you want to be one of those top 8 seeds. If you want to get that bye, you can't lose those games. And
I mean, we've said all along, Idaho State should be better than what their record says. Yeah. I mean, they have a hyper talented quarterback that Nunnally and Shulikov are insanely good on the outside. Like they they play like it every week. That's not like they go out and have stinker games. They're legitimate studs. So yeah. But regardless, UC Davis should have known what the Cats did to Idaho State, and getting beat by Idaho State at home it's just not a good look. So of UC Davis plummets down, Tarleton loses to maybe one of the most up and down FCS teams there is, Abilene Christian. I mean, they beat some good teams. They've lost to some horrendous teams though.
Yeah.
So them falling out lands us at the prime number 2 spot, or 3 spot, I should say. 2 in the playoff committee's eyes.
Mm-hmm. The ones that matter,
Yeah.
I like to know that the ones that matter actually know what they're talking about. That's always nice to see. Yeah, it just... I saw the question up on FCS Fans Nation where someone was asking, after South Dakota State's losses, and especially the one in the Dakota Marker, like, is North Dakota State just that much better than the rest of the country? And I may be homering right now, but I have completely talked myself into, I think Montana State's on that level. Just because of what I brought up earlier about how strong South Dakota State was when we played them and the different type of team that North Dakota State played against.
Yeah. I mean, it was a completely different team North Dakota State played. And not that I'm making excuses for our loss, but that team played one game together and it was Oregon.
Yeah.
And we lost, substantial pieces on the team, or as on the player side, and the coaching side, like huge losses for us. So, it is fairly impressive for the team to turn it around that fast. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure the team that's walking out there on Saturday to play Weber State beats that South Dakota State team handily at the beginning of the year.
For sure.
Even with South Dakota State fully healthy, our defense is so much better than it was the first couple weeks of the season. Our offense is so much better than what it was. And, back to your question about North Dakota State, they looked human against Youngstown.
That's very true. They did not have an amazing game like we've seen. Somebody finally made those guys bleed. Ivan Drago is human.
Yes. Youngstown went out and laid out a game plan for, of course they're going to fix things or work on things. But Youngstown did show that that North Dakota State can bleed a little bit. Like they aren't a juggernaut. They can be beaten.
Yeah.
Youngstown just fell a little short.
Yeah.
It was a wild weekend.
Yeah, there was just a lot there was so many scores to pay attention to, and every time you looked, it looked like another upset was going to happen, and a lot of those upsets did pan out, and that's why we see so much shifting in the top 25. Because we don't usually talk about the top 25 that much. We don't bring this stuff up much, but there was just so much shifting that it could not be ignored.
Yeah, exactly. And North Dakota losing was a big one too, because North Dakota had so much steam coming into this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Them losing that game was about as bad as it gets for North Dakota. That was another one of those that, it could have been a close game.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a close game. And if North Dakota would have won, they probably would have, if other things hadn't completely imploded, they probably would have shot up the rankings even more than they already had. But losing that one, they fell drastically. If you just look at North Dakota's number 13, if you just look at the top 13,
mm-hmm.
you almost, in my opinion, you just throw away Lehigh, Tennessee Tech, Tarleton, Monmouth, Harvard, Villanova, Mercer.
Yeah.
And whatever's left are the real teams in the playoffs.
It's kind of, that's got to be about it. It's hard to throw out that many teams, but that's just really what it feels like. I'm intrigued by what Harvard is, just because we haven't seen the Ivy League play in the playoffs and stuff like that. And so we've only really seen them play against other Ivy League teams. So I am intrigued to see what that's like, because we don't really have any good litmus tests for how the Ivy League stacks up to the Missouri Valley in the Big Sky Conference. I don't think they do. Personally, I don't think it's not a major worry. It's just kind of like, I'm intrigued by it. I'm interested.
Yeah. I mean, if you just take the Dakota States and the 2 Montana schools, you think all 4 of those teams don't blow out Lehigh, Tennessee Tech? I'm gonna say Tarleton too. I don't have any faith in them. Monmouth for sure. Yeah. Villanova. I mean, even if Harvard's a question mark, Villanova and Mercer for absolute certain.
Yeah. And it's just because we've seen it year after year where they make it to the playoffs and maybe they pull off one win, but we were just talking about how last year everything went chalk in the top 8. And if everything pans out the way we think it is going to with these teams later on in the season, I bet it's the same. And if somebody does get upset, it's one of those teams you're bringing up. It's one of the Lehighs, Tennessee Tech, Tarleton, Monmouth. If those teams truly end up being in the top 8 when the bracket comes out, those guys could get upset.
Yeah.
By a lower-ranked team from the Big Sky or Missouri Valley.
Well, right there. I mean, Big Sky, Missouri Valley, and then it's just everyone else looking in. I mean, I think people inflated Tarleton so much because they thought maybe there was finally going to be an outside the Big Sky or Missouri Valley team that could actually make some noise.
Yeah.
And then they just should go ahead and show their true colors. And maybe it was a fluke. Maybe that loss was a fluke, and maybe they are better than that. But, I mean, we've said it how many times now on this episode alone. You just cannot lose to teams like that.
No. You cannot.
The great teams don't lose to terrible ones.
Yeah. And, I mean, it is very hard to be perfect.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once. You know, it is very hard to get through a regular season perfect. But when we're talking about these nationally, like teams that are serious at a national scale, where we're actually considering them to win a championship or make it to the semifinals, things like that, you can't drop those games.
No.
Just can't happen.
No. And honestly, I mean, it was just such a wild weekend with upsets that I feel like that has completely steered the narrative of the entire FCS in general, is just that all the big schools minus Montana State and the Grizzlies were actually beatable at some point.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that for all year really?
No.
And the rest of those highly touted schools all lost. But moral of the story is Ben's Northern Colorado Bears suck.
Yeah. The Cats made them look silly, like they've made everyone else look silly.
Yeah.
Who knows? Northern Colorado might be the second best team in the country, or in the Big Sky Conference.
Could be. Should we just start to pick him off with a monologue for Ben trying to pump his second favorite team up?
Might as well. We got a blue and gold matchup coming up this week, ladies and gentlemen. Northern Colorado is going to the Walk-Up Sky Dome in Flagstaff, Arizona to face the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. And the Northern Colorado Bears have a point to prove. They have to bounce back in this moment because that is the only thing that is going to redeem them after such a loss against Montana State. They would have to play one hell of a game against the Lumberjacks, who have looked pretty good. I mean, like everyone else, they look good outside of playing against Montana State, and they didn't lose to Montana State as bad as Northern Colorado. So the transitory property of football doesn't look good for the Bears, but that doesn't factor in the heart of the Bears. And the heart of the Bears puts them over the top, walk up Sky Dome, walk back down, and you have a win. That's all it is. Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
I mean, I'm trying to... You can't even take any of the statistics from the Montana State Northern Colorado into effect because Northern Colorado's offense didn't actually show up to their own field.
No, they weren't even there.
I'm not sure where they got all those guys, but they were definitely not on the team, or they acted like they had never played football before.
Yeah, we don't know where they are. Hopefully they show up again.
Carver Cheeks, great name.
Great name.
Great name.
Top tier name.
Also, top tier wide receiver was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
They tried to get him the ball, but it was for like 2 yards here and there.
Yeah. He did not.
It is really hard. It is really hard to look at those statistics and pick Northern Colorado over Northern Arizona. It just is.
It's tough. It is very, very tough. That being said, this is a very interesting matchup. Two very good quarterbacks. They've got interesting wide receivers, good guys at running back, and I think it could be a really fun game to watch. I'm excited to watch it.
I mean, that one kind of stands out to me as one that might be worth paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Northern Arizona, after losing that heartbreaker to Idaho last Friday, is gonna. I bet they come out with some vengeance here.
Yeah, they're gonna be ready.
I wouldn't be surprised that there's a shellacking, but I'm kind of hoping Northern Colorado also needs to get a little frustration off of their shoulders after last week.
Yeah, neither one gets much of a break after both teams had tough losses.
Yeah,
Northern Arizona, a very different type of tough loss, but it's tough to bounce back from those close losses as well. But I mean, Ty Pennington just strikes me as so much better at quarterback than Gibson, to where I think Pennington's going to have himself a little bit of a day, just because that Northern Colorado defense did not look good.
No. And I mean, think about it this way. Northern Arizona, and granted it was on a Friday night, but they didn't get to start recovering from their loss until overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Northern Colorado was starting to lick their wounds after the first quarter against the Buck.
They got to rest a lot of people early. They're very fresh. The Northern Colorado Bears are very fresh. I should have put that in my monologue. Damn it.
Yeah. Next game, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
UC Davis at Idaho. Idaho wins in overtime against a at the time ranked Northern Arizona team, and UC Davis loses just a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one could be some points in this one.
Yeah, major fireworks.
I think it could be pretty high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to pick against UC Davis, but I mean, Idaho's a completely different team with this quarterback.
Yeah,
healthy. It's a tough one to pick.
Yeah. I mean, the quarterback for Idaho doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. He's pretty good with the ball, decent completion percentage. The passing yard numbers are not stacked up with especially the two quarterbacks we were talking about in the game before this. But in the game that I paid a lot of attention to, that game against the Grizz, he looked very good. He looked like a game changer. And if he is at that level in this game, I do think Idaho has a very solid chance, but you got to think that UC Davis comes back and has themselves a get-right game for this one, and I think that's what's in the mix here. It's tough to go to the Kibbe Dome, but I think UC Davis has the culture and the coaching to do it.
Yeah, I think that UC Davis's coach is going to have them ready. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole team knows the implications of this game. If they lose this game, it's real bad because they have to come to Montana State the next weekend.
Yeah.
And what does it look like if you lose 3 straight games?
Yeah.
So, like, I hate to call this a must win for UC Davis, but I think it is a must win.
Yeah. It becomes very hard for them to make the playoffs if they lose this game.
Yeah. If they go into I don't know who they play the final week of this season, But if they go into that game 6-4, that's not looking good.
They end out the year with Sac State. And depending on what kind of Sac State team you run into, that's another potential lot. Like, you would have to crush Sac State. If you lose 3 in a row, and then you would have to annihilate Sac State in order to give the playoff committee a reason to keep you in it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to envision a 3 or 4 loss Big Sky team going to the playoffs, period. I mean, you that might put you in one of the first teams out.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, for sure if you lose 4 straight games. So actually, I do think this is a must-win game. They have got to beat Idaho. Who knows what happens when they come to Bozeman, but that's probably a loss. So, yeah, they got to win this one. UC Davis got to win, no matter what.
Do you know what UC Davis's kicker's name is?
What?
Trajan Sinatra.
Whew.
That is a name right there. I bet that man kicks some real nice balls.
Dang.
Sinatra.
Yeah.
I like it. He does it his way.
Yeah, that is quite the name. I do like that one. I am a sucker for a good name on the football field.
I haven't looked at the full stack up of UC Davis's season right now, but with us talking about the playoff implications, especially over these next few games, their first game against the year was supposed to be against Mercer, and that got canceled.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal at this point. Because if they would have pulled out a win against Mercer to start off the season, then they could have these bobbles and losses and probably still have a good chance to make the playoffs. But with that as a cancellation and with that off of your resume, it makes it very tough going into these games.
Yeah, it makes your conference schedule so much more important. So dropping games to teams like Idaho State is you just can't do it.
No.
You just can't do it.
No.
Next up, we got Sacramento State at Portland State.
Yeah.
Not much to say here.
Nah, not a whole lot. I think Sac State.
It is nice to see Portland State not completely defeated anymore.
No longer defeated Portland State.
Yes. That being said, if Sac State doesn't beat them by 25 points, I mean, is it even a good win?
Probably not. I mean, yeah, they have to go at Portland State, and I think that they will. Things have been up and down. I wonder what the penalty numbers were like for Sac State last week. But
see if the Big Sky refs took notice of them complaining about it.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Eastern Washington pretty handily, a 22-point win last week, so they are on the right trajectory. It feels like they are playing better football, and I think they should handle business against Portland State, but it's so hard to know with Sac State this year. They've been really hard to read. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, Sacramento State is. I hate picking them to win, but I'm gonna pick them to win because it's Portland State. Like nobody loses to Portland State, and that includes Cal Poly. How did they lose to Portland State?
Yeah, we didn't think that they were going to win a game all season. And that was one of those moments where we were like, we sound like real idiots. Because last week we were like, Cal Poly's going to roll them. Like, Portland State's not going to win a game for the rest of the year. And then they go out and they beat Cal Poly. I think Portland State listens to this podcast. I'm pretty sure that's it. They had a little fire.
Was it just a mercy?
Yeah.
Was it just a mercy win? Is that what that was? They just let them win because they felt bad. They've been there. They've been completely defeated before. They didn't want them to be completely defeated, so they just gave them one.
Yeah. They just it was a pity victory.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Sac State.
Portland State cannot. They just can't let Portland State hang around. Moral of the story.
For sure.
Cal Poly at Idaho State. Before last week, I would have said that could be an interesting game.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Portland State.
Mm-hmm.
and Idaho State beats UC Davis. So I feel like Idaho State is going to demolish Cal Poly. Transitory property of football.
Yeah, like that kind of takes effect here, but it's also just, I'm so sick of it. Like, which Idaho State team is going to show up, and also which Cal Poly team is going to show up? Is the Cal Poly team that looks pretty decent going to show up? Is Idaho State going to show up and have all these amazing players that they have actually live up to the potential? Because they did against UC Davis.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I want to say that this is an easy win for Idaho State, but I also know that they play weird games. They always play every game close, so it's probably going to be a close game. They're going to give a ton of yards on the ground to Cal Poly for some reason. And then this is going to end up being like a one-score game that Idaho State wins when they should have won by 2 or 3 scores.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Idaho State should just mop the floor with Cal Poly based off of, but who knows what they're going to, who knows which Idaho State shows up. Mm-hmm. Cal Poly has shown it a couple of different times that they can hang with some good teams minus the Bobcats. Mm-hmm. So I guess I don't know, man. Idaho State has to roll Cal Poly.
They got to.
Has to.
They got to.
They just got to.
Come on, Bengals. Just do it.
Eastern Washington at Montana. I saw the spread on this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, 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 really big.
Yeah. What is it?
It was like 27 or 28 points or something like that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I feel like the Grizzlies have to cover.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel Eastern Washington is not very good.
No, they're just not. Like, it's hard to make a narrative out of it whatsoever, because especially they're going to Wagriz, and what are they supposed to do? There's not much that they will be able to do against the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies are probably going to look very good, and now the Grizz fans are going to be extra pumped up because the Bobcats got moved ahead of them, even though they've lost this year, you know?
Yeah. It's really tough to even envision Eastern Washington. I mean, I've watched Eastern Washington with my own eyes. Mm-hmm. They are atrocious.
Yeah.
And Sac State beat them by, what'd you say, 22 points?
Something like that. Quite a bit.
So I feel like the Grizzlies shouldn't have a problem running this one up quite a bit.
No, they really should not, but who knows? They'll probably play like one quarter of this game like they did against Cal Poly. They decide they're going to play one quarter.
Yep. Weber State at Montana State. Is it too early to say I feel sorry for Weber State?
I don't think it's ever too early. This team, oh no. I just opened the season leaderboards for this game. It does not look good for Weber State.
No.
Weber State literally has nothing to lean on in this game to make you think that they are going to play well. I don't know. They've only beat Portland State. That's the only victory of the year. They lost to Eastern Washington. Yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like a good week to be a Wildcat. As always, it is a great week to be a Bobcat. But that is a tough matchup. And this is the whole reason why I was so disappointed that UC Davis lost, because I knew that this game was going to be kind of boring. Stress-free wins are always great, but still, I want some juice. I want some juice in these games, and nobody's given me anything to get excited about.
Yeah, Weber State's a bad football team.
Yeah.
There's no way to... I mean, we started the year calling them the Enigma.
Yeah.
They're not an enigma anymore.
No.
They're just bad.
Yeah.
They get beat by bad teams I have a feeling this could be really, really similar to the Northern Colorado game because there is no doubt that Northern Colorado is a better football team than Weber State.
The only real matchup we can talk about here is last week the Grizz beat them 38-17. How much more do the Bobcats beat them by?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question.
How much
21
more than
points?
21 points? Yeah.
I would be floored if it's not more than 21 points.
That's what I'm saying. Is it a 30, 40, 50?
I want to say the spread was 34.5.
That's wild. That is an insane spread in a college football game. That is it makes sense, but also at the same time it just shows how dominant this team has been, especially as the offense has started clicking and balanced out this team. It is wild what is going on for the Bobcats right now, and the lines makers have their work cut out for them because what are you going to do, set a 45-point spread? Because that's probably what the Cats are going to win by.
I mean, if you look at the last 5 games here, you know, they lost to Eastern Washington 23-20, and we beat Eastern Washington by 40.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
54 points we beat Eastern Washington by.
54. I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
They let Sac State drop 55 on them. They let Portland State drop 43 on them.
Yeah.
Like, their defense is atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to imagine the Cats don't win by more than 21 points really, really easily.
Yeah. It's hard to believe they don't win by 21 points in the first quarter.
That was what I was. Is exactly what I was going to bring up. Are we seeing Patrick Duchesne under center in the third quarter?
It's very possible in this game. Keep everybody fresh for these last couple games against UC Davis and the Grizz, and yeah, perfect time to be resting some dudes.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially, you know, we saw Paul Brock come out of the game. He never did. I mean, I think he's just questionable.
Yeah.
Why not just hold him out?
Might as well.
Rest him up. I know I think it was Taden Gray looked like he might have hurt himself a little bit. Why not just let him heal up?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need him right now.
No.
We don't need the superstars for this game. Taco,
yeah.
I mean, we have a bit of an injury scare. He came out and gassed their defense, the Northern Colorado defense, for a good one right after that. But, you know, I think it is a time, if you're a little banged up, take a seat.
Yeah.
You know, we can get through Weber State without the superstars.
Definitely.
That being said, they're still going to win by so many points.
So many points. This is... I hate to jinx it so much because we're talking so much about it, but at the same time, it's just like, what else am I supposed to say? Do I think that Gilkey is going to be throwing it all over the yard against the Bobcats? No. Gilkey
Unlikely.
cannot do that. Just with the name Gilkey, you can't do that.
Maybe he matches his interception total in this game.
Yeah, Godley is going to need Jesus in this game if he's going to do anything. He's going to need it. He's going to have to walk on water to do anything against the defensive line. Did you see, I saw on Instagram, Bobcat Collective posted new line of merch coming out from the Cats and a great nickname for the defensive front. They are the cold front.
I do like it.
It's nice.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I may have to invest.
May have to invest in the cold front. Already heavily invested in the Juice Squad. Already heavily invested in the Don Joy Mafia. May have to invest in the cold front.
Yep, I agree. Especially after seeing one of them get a 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, always fun. Always a lot of fun.
Whew. That was a lot to unpack, man.
Yeah. It's a action-packed 45 minutes right there.
There was a lot that happened this week.
Yeah. Between all the upsets, couple of interesting games this week, but not a whole lot to get excited about. Should we touch on? Oh, we didn't talk about the schedule in the Missouri Valley. There's really not a ton of excitement there. But
UND North Dakota State's worth talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's UND. That might be a must-win for them.
Yeah.
Losing to North Dakota State doesn't hold a ton of water because everybody loses to North Dakota State. But if they win that game, they are right back in it.
Yeah.
Right back in it. I have a hard time believing it's going to happen. But you never know.
You never know. If there's one thing you never know.
Right now, their losses are Montana and South Dakota. That's not terrible, but a third loss, it starts to sting a little bit.
It definitely does. I mean, it's a rivalry game. They get to play at home. You really want to believe that the Hawks can do it. You really want to believe.
I mean, they say it's really hard to play in that stadium. We'll see what happens. It's just, I don't know. Maybe they learn a little bit from Youngstown. Maybe they figured out what Youngstown didn't do correct, and they can correct it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so hard to believe that somebody could dethrone North Dakota State.
Yeah.
As much as I hate them, as much as I think North Dakota State's a bunch of hot garbage, it's so hard to believe.
Yeah. Definitely not a ton to do there, but definitely worth mentioning.
Ben and I will be big Hawk fans on Saturday.
Big Hawk guys.
Big time.
Big time fighting Hawk fans.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law went to law school there. I have an actual connection. I can cheer for him and not feel like a total hater.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a hater, not a total hater.
Go North Dakota. David versus Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it done.
Put that rock in the sling and hit him right between the eyes, North Dakota. That's all you got to do.
If North Dakota beats North Dakota State, do they go below the Montanas? Does North Dakota State fall below the Montana schools?
No way. I don't know. That's so tough to gauge.
I mean, can you leave them at number one right after a loss?
I don't know if you can leave them at number one after a loss to North Dakota just because of the losses that they've had this year.
Oh, man. Now that I think about that, that's even crazier because
chaos.
If
True
you
chaos.
That in the stats poll, that would, assuming the Cats and the Grizzlies both win this weekend, that means Montana would be 1, Montana State would be 2, North Dakota State would be 3. Who cares about 4? Because that's probably still Lehigh, but then that would mean Cat Grizz would be for number 1, and whoever lost Cat Grizz, North Dakota State would have to go through them.
Yeah.
At their house.
And then you're also looking at number 1, number 2, Montana State. You're looking at a potential national championship brawl.
Yeah. But the loser of the Cat Grizz game would actually probably jump below. So it would actually still probably go through Fargo. But regardless.
Likely. Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
The Grizzlies would probably have to go to Fargo. So I like that.
I think
just get rid of them.
As far as the stats perform goes, the most likely thing, if North Dakota State was to drop this game, is probably they just drop them below Montana. And they leave the Cats exactly where they are. Because it's hard to move them up after just beating Weber State, you know. It's just
once you start thinking about the brawl, if North Dakota State only falls to 2 and then the number 3 beats the number 1, does North Dakota State just by default move back to number 1?
Who knows? I have no
Oh,
idea.
that would piss me off so bad.
Yep, that would add plenty of fuel to the fire going in to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Plenty of fuel to a fire that does not really need much fuel. It's already well-fueled fire.
Yeah. That's a real rabbit hole to start thinking about right there.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. We hadn't gone on any really good tangents here on this one.
We need to channel our inner vegan and really just focus on this week. We got to go 1-0. We're not going 1-0 anymore. We're thinking way too far in the future.
Yeah. We just need to take a deep breath, focus on Weber State. Hard to do, I know.
Okay, I'm back.
Hard to believe. 3 weeks till Cat Grizz, man. 3 weeks.
It is stacking up, and I could not be more ready for it. I'm ready for some football with some juice. I need the juice.
Yeah, we need to get back into some excitement here.
Yeah.
And hopefully that starts with UC Davis.
Yeah, hopefully it does. Anything else you want to let the people know before we let them go?
I don't think so, man. I think we covered it.
All righty. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Go ahead and rate this 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at. Catch us on Instagram and X at Catspod. Catch us on YouTube at The Catspod. And we will see you guys again after another beautiful Catterday.
Adios.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.